You've been rolling around, shouldn't roll it up. Let her roll it up. Break it down like a punch, she would never us. She would never us. That's the real on the real, are you serious? How you feel, how you feel? Used to trip off that shit I was kicking to you. Had some fun on the round, though I'll give it to you. But baby,
I'm still seeing hella people stitch the video, so I'm gonna remake the prompt so you can use a video that is not completely insulting to people with mental illness and people who are interested in spirituality. Okay? What does she say? What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud? What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
I'm about to lose a big chunk of my followers, but I have to say it. Ghosts can't harm the living. If they could, there would probably be only a handful of Caucasians left in this world.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
There are a lot of ugly dogs, but there are no ugly cats. Every cat is cute, but not every dog is cute.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
These guys deserved way better than they got. Hear me out, okay? So all we know is that their entire population got banished to the literal shadow realm, the elephant graveyard. They never really tell us why, so I'm not saying racism, but it's definitely something. Then Mr. I Can't Wait to Be King decides to deliberately disobey his father and not only trespass on their land, but insults them right to their face. And then right before the hyenas are about to exercise what Americans call stand your ground, Mufasa swoops in and just violates their entire way of life. And then he says this:
"If you ever come near my son again."
Imagine somebody's child crawls into your backyard, calls you stupid, and then their father pulls up and beats the brakes off you, only to say,
"If you ever come near my son again."
Yeah, I'd be heated too. Fast forward after they help Scar come up, bro wanna act different and starts treating them like second-class citizens. After they turn Scar into a rogue, we never see them again. Did they get banned again? Did they starve to death? We don't know, cause Disney ain't tell us. And when you think about it, the only reason they went along with it is just cause they wanted food. Yeah, Disney did them dirty. Hyenas deserve better. And their own movie. You will not change my mind.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
If we're going to have a minimum age required for voting or for holding governmental positions of power because of proper neural development, then there should be a maximum age as well. Hear me out. Remember this one? And I quote, "They're making the highest laws of the land and they might not even remember what happened yesterday." I don't understand how we've casually accepted that someone on their deathbed can wake up thinking it's the 1940s and then make and enforce laws. It is the job of Congress and the Supreme Court to reflect the ever-changing ideas of the general society. And that is not possible when someone wakes up thinking it's the fucking Jim Crow era. Therefore, I think it's only reasonable to suggest that we cap a maximum age for voting and for serving.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
Since everyone is too scared to say it because they're afraid of getting canceled, I don't give a fuck and I'm going to say it. The anime community is a cult. Why aren't we talking about this? If you tell them you don't watch anime, they try to recruit you into their cult so you can watch it. And then they give you a grocery list of animes to start off watching. And don't you dare tell them you think it's lame. Oh, they will come for you. They will come for your life, your job, your everything. They will come for you if you tell them you hate anime. Or you may just not like it. And some of them got anger issues because how are you mad? Because I don't want to watch anime. Like, what? They are a cult and they are a very dangerous group. Be careful. You have been warned.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
Being in a relationship seems very overrated. I've been single my whole life, and I've noticed that way too many of my friends and way too many people that I know only feel validated or see their worth when they're in relationships. They go from relationship to relationship with only a few weeks or months in between, or they always have to be talking to somebody because they don't know who they are outside of being in a relationship. They will settle for mediocre relationships because the thought of being alone is way more terrifying to them. And they're the same people who always complain about their partner and say that they're toxic or they aren't treating them well. When I tell these people that I've never been in a relationship before, they are immediately like, "Oh my God, but you're so pretty. Don't worry, your day will come. come. Love will find you. You will find your perfect missing puzzle piece. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't ask for all that. I'm not insecure about being alone, because unlike you, my worth and identity and how attractive I am and how worthy I am of love doesn't come from being in a relationship. I'm single on purpose.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
I'm going to jail in 2 weeks.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
BTS don't need no more yes men. They got enough of that around them. So ARMY giving constructive criticism about a few songs that they may not like does not make them an anti. It make them a fan.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
The biphobia present in Black cishet women is directly linked to misogynoir, and that Black women have been continuously stripped of their femininity. So while they may understand the concept of a bisexual man, that trauma has manifested as a repulsion to any space in which they perceive, keyword, perceive themselves to be in competition with or compared to men. The insecurity of being with a bisexual man is just the insecurity of not knowing what that man values in you as a woman and wanting to be validated and valued for your femininity alone. That need for validation branches out into how others perceive you in relation to your partner. So these people tend to seek out what they view as hyper masculine men. All right. And what misogyny tells us about masculinity is that masculinity is the absence of femininity, which is not true. Misogyny, on the other side, defines femininity as anything relating to womanhood, but they define womanhood by our ability to attract, please, and produce for men. So a man that also attracts and pleases men will never be masculine enough for them to feel validated in their femininity by that man. It's still not an excuse to be a bigot. Go love yourself.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
Anyone who cries and then the first thing they're thinking of is, let me pick up a camera and record this. You're lying. You're not really crying. Like, if you're truly going through a traumatic experience in which your eyes are leaking all over the place, the first thing you should be thinking of is not, let me record myself. Or like that one person who sends you a snap where she's like, you're pathetic.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
Your daughter shouldn't have to put more clothes on or change her clothes due to the fact that you have male company over. If you feel like he's looking at your daughter or is going to look at your daughter, there's no reason for him to be in that house.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
I'm not ready for the hate and the headache I'm about to get, but let's go into it. Y'all pick and choose what age gap you want to ride over depending on if you like the celebrity or not. I said what I said and let me explain it. Beyonce said she met Jay-Z when she was 18, but they didn't start dating until she was 19. When they started dating, he was already 31. Everyone calls him power couple, goals, nobody batted an eye. Taylor Swift was 19, dating John Mayer, who was 32. Everybody got upset. Tyga started messing with Kylie when she was 14 years old. People made jokes, but nobody really had an uproar over it. Always sees this man's going through the mud because people are like, oh, when he started messing with Demi, she was 17. But she clarified that they did not start dating until she was 18. At the time, I think he was like 31 or 32. Almost the same exact age gap as Beyonce and Jay-Z. This is one y'all don't allow. And I never hear anybody write about this one. She was 23 and Justin Timberlake was 16. But I feel like since the tables are turned and she's a female, nobody talks about it. Is it about the age gap or is it about the person? Y'all gotta make up your mind.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
Astrology is a pseudoscience. Yes, even Indian astrology, according to Indian sources. Sources in bio.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
Your child's valedictorian status has no correlation to their lifetime success, nor does their SAT or ACT score, nor does their enrollment in the honors programs. GPA is a predictor of college success. However, the higher the GPA, a correlation has been found with a lower ability to innovate. In the pursuit of Even further external validations, we have turned the school system into a sports system. And the pursuit of these external validations don't work for a lot of people and often extinguish internal motivation. If I was a betting man, I would use zip code and socioeconomic status, sadly, to bet on future success, more so than anything I listed. I'm not saying those are bad accolades per se, but they are not as reliable or prioritized as we think they are. But that will never change because people who are good at the game of school end up on school boards with kids who are also good at the game of school.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
People and their pronouns. For instance, I was raised to call people sir and ma'am out of respect. I was told it was a respectful thing. This is just how I was born and raised and taught to talk to people. So, do I support whatever you identify as? If you want to be a fucking unicorn, be a fucking unicorn. I don't care. But because I'm in customer service, if I come up to you and I'm like, hi ma'am, how are you? What can I get for you? And you scream at me? Scream. How the fuck am I supposed to know? If you correct me kindly and just be like, I'm sorry, like this is actually what I did. Sure, I will call you whatever you want for the rest of the night. But how am I supposed to understand if it's not written or like you look a certain way because that's just how I see you? Like, I don't know. Like if you want the world to understand, you have to kindly speak about it and correct people. You can't scream at them and expect them to know.
The sound here cut out for some reason, but they said, what's something you'll get hate for if you say it out loud? This will only get hate if it reaches the wrong side of TikTok, so let's hope it doesn't. But after last night's events, I thought it was important that we discuss this. Football culture is absolutely drenched with racism, misogyny, homophobia, and all other types of xenophobia. This isn't just in the UK, this is all around Europe. But actually, I don't think it's even just limited to football. Unfortunately, racism isn't just limited to one sport or one institution. I believe that any institution or sport or organization that has historically been dominated by white people, especially white men, is going to be an uncomfortable environment for people of color, women, and gay men. Especially if there is this denial that it exists or this apprehension of wanting to confront it. For example, the England fans boo the players taking the knee. And people state that they think it's, pandering towards the minorities or pandering towards the woke. So number one, they've turned woke, aka caring about social issues, into a bad thing. But also, they are booing black players taking the knee to symbolize the fact that there is racism institutionally worldwide, including in this sport. And then, when the team loses, black players face racial abuse. And the amount of domestic violence goes up when the team loses. If you can't see this as a problem, you are part of the problem. Ultimately, in society, not just in sport, in society, we have not done enough to dismantle the systems of oppression that enable these types of behavior and that ideology. This bitch gonna make me